Bay Area, take a breath, basically relax. Real estate is alive and well in the San Francisco Bay Area. And when we look at the San Francisco Bay Area, I think the thing that everyone has to realize is how unique it is. We definitely do not follow the nation. And we can look at the national numbers, and everybody's read them. You know, national sales are down last year. We saw a decrease in the price point. January sales were up a little bit. New home sales just came out, and they were dismal in February, 3.9%. But, you know, who cares? You're not competing with Detroit. We basically are probably the most similar to New York if you want to compete with us, who we basically follow in the market. But when you look at San Francisco Bay Area real estate, let's look back and actually see what's basically happened. You go back to 1984, you could have had a median price here for about $180,000. And then it went up, and our basic number of profit appreciation and basically percentage appreciation has averaged, if you move forward for the last 20 years, about 8.4%. But if you had a home from 11-2000 to 11-2006, here's what basically happened to you. On average, the dollar amount of profit that everyone got out there was $315,000. Now, when you look at percentage appreciation, that's 11.1% per year adjusted for inflation. And when you basically take those numbers and plunk them out, you can go to Solano County at $194,000, all the way up to San Mateo County, $385,000, and the percentage profit basically, or the percentage numbers, go from 63% all the way up to 123% in Monterey and 100% in Santa Cruz County. So basically, how can anyone complain about real estate in the San Francisco Bay Area? We moved into 2006, and we know, obviously, the real estate market cooled down, and we know it did that for a lot of reasons, because when you go back, they made the environment Goldilocks from 2000 to 2005. Interest rates came down. We opened up the mortgage industry. They made it so the consumer could basically get in for cheaper and basically less expensive than renting. And all of a sudden, the Federal Reserve got a little bit concerned about the mortgage industry. We're kind of living through that, but not here. When you look at the numbers here, we have very mild subprime numbers. In San Francisco, it's only 5% of all of the market in San Francisco is subprime. When you look at all the other counties, it goes from 5% up to Solano, which is probably the highest at maybe 8 or 9%. So yeah, we will feel some of that, but when we look at the headlines, don't listen to them normally because they're a national picture. They don't reflect what is local. And when you look at San Francisco real estate, let's talk about that, because location always counts. 85–90% of the value is always in the land. And the land here is a limited resource. There's never going to be more of it. We look at the demographics, 1.8% employment growth that's coming. We look at 36,000 new jobs in Silicon Valley last year. We are going to double the number of households in the next 2 decades, create 3 million jobs in this state in the next decade also. So, you know, how can anybody look at the San Francisco Bay Area and say, if you buy something today and just give it some time, it won't be worth more in 3 years, 5 years, 10 years? Go back and ask anyone that's owned real estate that long, and they will tell you it's the path to creating wealth.
And we will be right back with our next guest, Michael Hague.